we are going. Dan Curon Jr., all the way from Canada.
The fact that you butchered my name in the first 5 seconds, oh my God.
Say it. Say it.
Dan Kirion.
That's what I said.
And no, you said Quran. Like, you said like Quran, like if we're fucking about to study something. Oh God, what a guy. Anyways, yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for having Dan Quran Jr. on.
Amazing. Right, for the people who don't, I know I've been on your podcast, The Fitness Burrito, but for the people tuning in, do you want to just give a little rundown of your history in the fitness industry, where you've been up to, where you are now?
Yeah, sounds good. So my name's Dan. A lot of people just call me Dan Q because they can't pronounce my last name, like Ross. From Canada.
It's not easy.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. From Canada, originally graduated in 2014 from a university back home with a Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology. Was a college athlete over there. So fortunate enough to have that on my resume and not have to pay too much for school, which is great. And then, long story short, you meet a girl, don't you? So now I live in the UK and started personal training, basically moved here. Whoever got a job first basically was like, that's where we're moving. So I ended up moving to Leeds because that's where she got a job. I was looking for work and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to try doing the whole personal training thing. So started that 2016, Feb 2016. And then, it's been a PT almost 5 years now. Started working at Pure Gym, kind of worked my way like most do, just trying to figure things out. Built a decent little business after kind of 7 or 8 months, dove into the management side of things. And then again, super fortunate to have climbed up the kind of corporate management ladder with Pure. So assistant manager, gym manager, cluster manager, was a PT mentor for a bit. So just helping other PTs build a business. And then so basically still with Pure Gym, cluster manager, just everything COVID related kind of screwed up succumbents and people had to kind of go back to their previous role. And so just finishing up my strength and conditioning qualifications, train, kind of general pop, but at the moment just focusing a lot more on basketball stuff because just big passion of mine. So just trying to be the go-to guy for all things basketball in West Yorkshire. So train a few pros, train a few non-pros.
How many professional basketball players are there in West Yorkshire?
There's a few actually, because there's like the BBL and there's like different tiers. It's like football, how everybody thinks they're a pro footballer. There's a few. So just trying to kind of get my name out there, doing stuff involved in the community. And that's basically me in a nutshell. And then obviously met Ross through Pure Gym, and we've been best buds ever since. Shared a room in Amsterdam. Great stories.
What a story. And the reason why you are not doing any of those things today is because
I'm isolating because my missus has COVID, unfortunately. She's fine though. For anybody out there, sending me some best wishes and some prayers. She's all right, knock on wood. I'm negative. So that's 2 people in my house have had positive tests and I'm still negative. So, we're joking saying it's the maple syrup, but it might be the maple syrup.
Keep it. Is that official? Do we need to do a test?
I don't know. Call up Boris. Let's get it on the test. Get in the labs.
The old lab. So we decided to short term, let's do a little podcast. And the first thing that subjects that I threw out there was social media. And now social media is a great tool. Obviously we're on social media now, on some channels. It's great for us to get our messages out there, to communicate with clients. It's fantastic for that. But some people, and some posts, and I'm not furious at this because you lose too much energy, but I just wanted to get on and put my little point of view across. And you've obviously got some thoughts on this as well about things that have just wound me up over the last few days, few weeks that I've seen on there. So
as they do.
They do, yeah. I mean, everyone's got this, and I think this is true of any industry. They're always going to have different point of views and different things on there. So do you want to go for it? We've got 2 examples each of things that have wound us up on the socials.
Yeah. These are a bit off the top. We're just having a bit of a laugh with these, aren't we? But I think the first point I like to make is like because we've all been locked in for so fucking long, and especially in the UK, like the restrictions are just outrageous, and obviously people are bored and people are tired, and naturally you're going to be on your phone 24 hours a day. So first off, I think you should just take a break from social media, and just chill out, because it's probably not doing your mental health any good. But yeah, a few things that obviously kind of got my attention the last few days and just recently. First one, I think it's just kind of it's funny how like the fitness industry is lately. I think like for me, it just seems like a big personality game at the moment. Obviously, you've got like the James Smiths of the world who've gotten like big on, just being himself and, dropping the C bomb a bunch and stuff like that. But then you've got the other side of people now where like, and again, I'm guilty of this, where you got the new reels coming in, and it just feels like freaking TikTok is basically on Instagram,
Well,
and
that's what it is,
everybody,
isn't it?
yeah, it is. And everybody's trying to be viral. And like, what's shitty is that a lot of people, like, you kind of have to do that now to be relevant. Like the old days of just putting good content out of, exercises or nutrition, even though you're saying the same shit week in, week out, it still helps people. But for some reason, people aren't going to watch it because they'd rather watch you fucking do Herbalife fad diet videos like I did the other day, which like randomly got 3,000 views, but then you'll
Woo,
get
big
but
time.
then but you know what I mean, but then you'll do like a really really good content post on, how to structure your diet, and you'll get like 5 people watch it, and it's like, it sucks, it is what it is. So I do find that part of it kind of frustrating sometimes, because I think a lot of PTs find it frustrating. And I would still say put out the helpful content. Like the people that want to watch it are going to watch it. It comes down to your marketing. But it just feels like everywhere you look, man, there's just some fucking new trend, and there's like something else that you just feel the pressure about. Like, you know what I mean? It's, I don't know. What do you think, man? What do you think when it comes to that stuff? Like, does it just grind your gears a bit, or do you find like it's just the new norm?
Yeah, I think it depends on audience and who you're trying to target. If you're trying to get kind of new people in, different things appeal to get a new audience and new people into your funnel of members. You kind of got to be a little bit out there and a little bit
It's relatability, isn't it?
different, I suppose. I think the swearing, I think is fine for some people if they've always done it, but I know some people who try and do it just to be edgy, and it just comes across naff.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, what on earth do you do? Why do you need to do that? Like, it's there's context to everything, and I think that the advice that you get and the amount of posts and things you can do, the context is so broad that it's so difficult just to hit the nail on the head sometimes by having that particular style.
Yeah, I think the problem is too is so many people, like I said, look, I'm guilty of doing it. Like sometimes I'll put videos out just because you got to showcase your personality, because people buy people, right? But then you get people who buy people, and they don't realize that that person is actually not a great PT, or is not a great coach, or is not a great nutritionist, or is actually talking absolute shit. So like you get that end, but then you also get the end of the people that actually like unreal and they are good at their job. So it's just a weird one. And I just find like I've noticed a few people voice it lately on social, just saying like how it's just kind of becoming a thing. Like it's who's got the best personality now. And it is what it is. It is what it is, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. What about you, Ross? What's yours? It's
So
not even my podcast. I'm asking you questions. Jesus.
I like it. It's a discussion. It's a discussion. So the one that got me this week was someone put on the fact that all gyms should be inclusive and it should be trying not to be intimidated. And if they want to go on the bench press and just bench press the bar, then that is totally fine.
Saw that.
And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I think the first part of that about the intimidation, I think it's good to be in a gym where you've got something to achieve and aspire and work towards.
Yeah.
I think that if you walk into it's never happened to me, and I'm not expecting it to happen anytime soon unless I go to like Lapland in the Elf's gym. But to walk into the gym and be the biggest dude in there, like you want to see someone bigger than you, think, right, I'm focusing my energy towards you and I'm going to work my bollocks off to get up to that level. That's how I interpretate that. So whether that's when I've gone to a boxing gym and I've been beaten up, or whether that's I've been to like a pure gym where we are and someone else is benching twice as much as I am, like I'm like, right, you can hook onto that, and you can take that in both ways.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's what I was like, yeah, okay, listen, if you want to be intimidated or motivated, that's your decision. And so the technical part of that is, if you're going to the bench and you're just benching the bar because you feel like that you should be there, it's not the wisest thing you could be doing. Like, and it gets me when I see people benching and you can't do press ups.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to drop it. I was waiting for you to. So basically what you're trying to say is get the hell off the bench if you can't do at least 10 press ups. That's what you're trying to say.
People will give you dirty looks if you're using just the bar. They're waiting to get on there and you can't do press ups. Like every gym in the country has a machine, chest press machine, for you to build up, to work on your technique, where you're not going to get the potential for injury. I mean, the potential for injury in gyms is generally quite small for one-off incidences. Obviously, gym injuries are more like overuse type things and bad posture over time. But if you are on that bench and you're just using the bar, you are going to get some looks, and people are going to be.
That's a hot take, Ross. That's a hot take. I like it though. You know what the reality is, and I think this applies to so many people though, is you can regress but still make progress. So like someone might feel like, oh, going to a bench is me progressing, and that might be confidence wise, like you said, there's two sides to it: motivation, confidence, all that kind of stuff. But the reality is you could probably get really good gains just doing push-ups and then doing eccentrics and then doing holds and then doing single arms, like
push-ups on your knees.
And
assisted dip.
But you know what? You could also argue that most guys in the free weights area could do body weight training and still struggle, right? So, yeah, absolutely. I did see that one though. That's a good one.
The other point is, quite often the big guys in the gym are generally the nicest ones.
Yeah, definitely.
And once you've actually say hello to them a couple of times, you're all right, mate. They'll open up. They'll walk. They'll be like, they'll help you. They'll talk to you all day and all night. They're the best ones.
They'll chuck on an extra 10 on each side and go, no, you could do a few more.
They will help you. Like, honestly, they're the best.
Nice.
What's your have you got your next example?
Yeah, you know what? I was like, oh, I'll do the old sex cells one because that one's just funny. And that one just gets me going all the time. But you know what's been funny to watch lately? I wouldn't even say it's been pissing me off. It's more entertaining. It's like PTs getting triggered off of other PTs. So you have the classic, like, all right,
we're getting triggered now. This is a full-on trigger podcast, by the way. We're just having a little therapy session between ourselves. If anyone, pretty much, that's a bonus.
Yeah, we're being hypocrites, but don't care. But like, what did I see the last few days? I saw like one person saying, "Oh, Christmas, like, fuck off." Basically, you can train, you can make progress. The best time is now. Like, stop making excuses for yourself, like blah, blah, blah. Basically, if you're not making progress, there's something wrong with you. And then you got this camp over here that going, yeah, well, there's a pandemic. Like, don't tell anybody that you can't feel shit about yourself. If you want to eat, you want to drink, go for it. And then like they get triggered over each other. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, what's wrong with people? Like, honestly, at the end of the day, that's why I posted what I posted yesterday. Cause I was like, look, you're an adult at the end of the day. Is your behavior that you have to own. Like, you decide what your actions are. Don't let social media dictate what you do and what you don't do. And I think a lot of people, unfortunately, literally get dictated or get influenced through social media sometimes. Like, I could care less what somebody says. And some people actually message me off the back of mine and were like, oh, well, what about the guy at Amazon who does 15,000 steps but he's not shredded? And I was like, well, that guy clearly eats shit because it means he doesn't get it. So yeah, I think that's kind of funny, but unfortunately, like, that's just the fitness industry. There's always going to be like right wing, left wing. There's never really anybody in the middle. They just kind of always go at each other. And then you're left trying to figure out as a consumer, like, what the hell is the best approach? Do I go for the Herbalife, or do I go for like, I eat everything and be a sustainable guy? Right. But that's kind of like a side tangent. But the real one I was going to say is sex sells, and how no matter what happens, every time of year when people need a PT, all you start seeing on your feed is fucking Joe Blow with no top on, just shredded, or some other girl shredded. And like they're just trying to sell programs. I get it, it's marketing, but it just grinds my gears because most people will buy it and they might get really good results. But a lot of times they don't get the coaching, they don't get the tools, and then they'll probably just put the weight back on and more. So don't get me wrong, there's some guys out there like your boy UFit UK who's clearly got his shit figured out.
He's doing incredible, by the way. When we're finished, I'll tell you what he's doing numbers wise.
Oh man, yeah, he just kills it. The transformation, like there's other guys out there that I see and I follow that like their transformation is just unreal.
The best one, underground, Francis Diet.
What's that?
Francis Diet is Scott Francis. He's been going for years and years. His page is just transformation after transformation. It's incredible.
And I mean, stuff like that's unreal. But yeah, I would say the big ones is just like that makes me laugh. And I wouldn't even say triggers me. It's just jokes. Is like the whole right versus left thing. And then just the fact that like, no matter what, sex just always sells, man. If you like, I bet you if we took our tops off,
you're handsome.
Nah, come on. We're both, you got a fresh fade going on, but if we took our tops off, you know what? You're probably more shredded than me. Jesus Christ, I've seen you.
I had a full-time job for 6 weeks.
Yeah, there you go.
I've been going to the gym 2 hours a day. It's brilliant.
So yeah, I think it's just, again, it's just classic marketing. And I think for the PTs that are working hard and have like loads of qualifications and maybe aren't the best at marketing, I think sometimes like it's frustrating for them when they just see whatever his name is just got fully qualified. And
let's not go down the line because I think this is a completely other podcast, is PT qualifications that you can go around collecting all the badges and all the things you want. It's not the scouts. You need to have a little bit of marketing now behind you.
100%.
Rather, you don't need like a Swedish football program advanced diploma most of the time. But that's a different chat. We'll save that for our February chat.
Yeah. What's yours? What's the second one?
The second one for me is I'm going to mess this word up as well. People absolutely loving on Monster, on sugar-free Monster.
Okay.
They're going, you need to drink a bus full of aspartame.
Okay, yeah. Aspartame, yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it's called. You have to drink a busload of this for you to even think about getting cancer. I'm like, yeah, fine. Okay, so that ingredient is not particularly bad. It's not bad for you. That's fine. But there's so much other shit in there.
So they're defending one thing in a boatload of ingredients of Monster.
And it's not just and Diet Coke and stuff like that. And they're going, oh yeah, it's completely safe. It won't cause you any harm. Correct. Like I'm never going to argue that it's not going to co. And there's big dogs arguing this as well. And I'm not going to jump into arguments with them. But I'm like, fine. What's it good for? How much water are you drinking? What's it doing to your intestines? What's it doing to your brain gut axis? Like,
is there not a fact page? Is there not a facts page on this, like on monster.com or .co.uk?
I've got no. I'm like, listen, if you're so clever, right? Let's see you give 2 monsters to your kids.
Yeah.
Give 2 monsters to your kids. Give 1 to your dog, and let's see how they behave for 2 days, for a week. And then if you want to start dropping studies about the fact that they gave 2 kettles worth of Monster to a rat and it was completely fine afterwards, fine, no problem. Let's see. Because, like, listen, I'm not shitting on sports drinks because I drink them every now and then. Like, I have 1 Monster a week when I do shoulders because my shoulders are poor.
Okay, yeah, you need that kick.
I've got no delts. Okay. So I make sure I have 1 a week. Get those delts going, have a little bit more intensity, a little bit more caffeine in the system.
Yeah.
1 a week. And I'm happy with that. Maybe I could go a little bit more and I wouldn't notice a difference, but I feel like they're just going, hey, it's not bad for you, it's not bad for you. And the only reason they're putting it out because they're just desperate for content that it's not bad. And it does my head in. And I'm like,
that's funny. Who's dropping that content? Is it anyone?
Everyone. They all do it, right? I think the first person I saw it, and I see this a lot in fitness as well, is that someone at the apex of the industry will drop something,
and then everybody grabs it.
and then it just cascades down. You see everyone doing it, everyone doing it, everyone doing it. Yeah. I'm like that. Yeah, fine. One monster a week, probably not going to have too much bad for you, but
man, they need a checklist fact update list. The only reason I say that is because yesterday I went down the rabbit hole of going on who for COVID facts just for shits. Man, there is some outrageous facts that they had to myth bust on there. Like you had the whole bleach thing. Remember when Donald Trump was like, "Oh yeah, drink some bleach." All right, man, you go and have a quick look. But I think that's what we need for Monster. Defo. I don't drink Monster. Never have. Never will.
any pre-workout?
No, I've never been a pre-workout guy. Coffee, that's about it. And if I take, because I don't drink coffee, if I do, man, I'm a friggin' mess. I'm an absolute mess, just shaking. feel like I'm about to do a presentation in front of 5 girls. Like I'm stressing out.
But you're a CPD man, aren't you? You're like the old.
Oh yeah, that's
CBD.
CBD. Yeah, big fan of that. Big fan. I think there's a bit of placebo going on there, but big fan of that.
Well, I've got the bloke who I did my work experience with. He's got a company selling it, so he's coming on next week. So
okay. I think I know who that is. Is that Way's friend? Is he friends with Way by any chance?
Way's friends with everyone.
Yeah, that's why.
Daniel Stott. Stotty.
No, don't know.
He's going to jump on. He's an osteopath as well, so he's got a little bit of knowledge to drop on those things.
Hopefully he's kept up with his quals and hasn't been, just basically a phony for 9 years.
Hopefully, who'll do that?
Yeah. All right. That was a good chat. Good little trigger discussion.
Right. Good man. Let's jump on a pod in the new year. We'll think of something proper and useful to talk about rather than just dissing people who can't defend themselves on the internet.
Hey, we didn't drop any names. But yeah, it was great to chat shit.
Thank you. Let's do it again. How many days you got left to go till you're allowed out your house?
Just shy of a week. So if anybody out there wants to hit me up on Warzone, I'm your guy.
What's Warzone?
It's if you know what it is, you know what it is. I'm not even going to go down.
Is that the COD?
Yeah, it's the old Call of Duty. And then if you want to do some home workouts, if you want to basketball, do some basketball specific stuff, go check out my Insta page. I've got some free support groups.
Get them on there.
Yeah, at Abante Performance, because Ross isn't going to plug me, so I might as well plug myself.
I plug everyone. Thank you.
I know, I'm kidding.
The fact that you're on the podcast anyway is a big enough plug anyway.
I know, man. It's a big deal. You're already bigger than me, and I've only been doing it for a while. Jesus Christ. So hopefully, as long as I can get a few more views than Jav Gordon, I'm a happy guy. No, I'm just kidding. Jav knows literally everybody, so he's probably gonna be viral like in an hour.
He's a great guy. Right. Thank you very much. Let's check in soon. Have a wonderful Christmas.
You too.
Great New Year. And let's go. 2021. Right. Let's do it.
Let's go.